We're not messing up today. CheekCast, pop. Welcome back. Shut up. Do not say anything. I'm fixing it. Welcome back to the CheekCast podcast, episode 9, where I'm going to say that casual gaming is dying. If you listened to last episode from, episode 8, which was now 2 weeks ago, because we couldn't do it last week. We were busy. And I said that streaming and content creation is killing video games. And I believe that still, even being a streamer and content creator.
Yeah.
The reason I say that is, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's killing casual gaming, which people seem to forget that how big casual audiences are.
It's the majority of gamers, for sure.
It's me, Sam.
All of us.
Thomas is a casual gamer. People seem to forget that, they're talking about all these Apex changes and everything. I just bring that up because I know a lot about the game. People talk about it so much. They're like, oh, they're catering to pros. They're catering to this. And I'm like, they're making the game harder. Yeah. And that's why less and less people are playing it, because people don't want to make Apex a job. Some people just want to come home after a long day of work, put the kid down for a nap, and they got 2 hours to play. And those are 2 very broken hours. They don't want to sit in ranked and hide in a corner for 30 minutes because getting to top 5 is how you get the most points. They just want to play with their homeboys and frag out.
As an adult, you don't want to grind every fun competitive game. You just don't. You don't.
No. But everything's making it seem like a grind. That's every single game.
Because you can't have content in the game, so you gotta pad time somehow.
That's exactly it. That is exactly it. They notice, people naturally chase the high of whatever it is, and in this case it is being the best, I guess, your titles, your rewards for being the best at a game. And so everybody does it, and that seems to make people play the games more than quality of the game used to.
I see that a lot in general society too. When you're driving on the street, people, they want to be in first place. They don't care how long it takes them to get somewhere, as long as they're in first, because they think that translates into getting there faster.
Correct.
And then you do something stupid and you can't merge over because other motherfuckers in the lane that you're trying to be in front. Yeah, we've all been there. We've all been there. That's bullshit.
We've all been there. I've been there.
I feel like that was directed directly to Florida traffic.
Yeah, I feel like it was. So it's directly calling out Tampa traffic, right? It's like,
fuck them.
Fuck you guys. And the thing with the content creation and stuff is a lot of people think they need to be the best to make good content. And believe it or not, I've been making videos about what Apex needs to change because I'm trying to speak casually, because I am an Apex casual. I don't play every day. I barely even play every week. I hop on with Blacksmith, my boy, maybe once a week. And to be honest, it's not very fun when that happens because I don't enjoy the game like that anymore. There has been no new content. It's the same thing every time I get on.
You don't want that new skin?
And whoa, the 37th legendary Bloodhound skin. What would I have done without that? It's just, everything is sweaty now.
I mean,
you play pubs, which is where the casuals are supposed to be able to play, and it's sweaty. It's sweatier than rain.
And you could grind 100 hours to get that skin, or you could pay a little $25 for it.
You pay $25, you get this shit right now. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people make content, and they think they have to be the best of the best to make content. And people think I'm a pro, and they don't realize that my peak is Diamond 3. I'm not even close to the top, fam. I'm nowhere near some of these other people's levels. I just played the game because I enjoyed it.
How dare you enjoy something casually?
And, honestly, and then how dare I enjoy it and then just leave and make everybody upset?
Yeah, and unfortunately, you and many other streamers, content creators, YouTubers, whatever you want to call that variety of people, what you say, people either completely disagree with and they just hate you and your opinion is invalid, or they completely follow you and they're like, oh yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about. And then somehow it creates this very follower based issue where everyone just sides with a streamer or a content creation person and just says, "Yep, nope, that's exactly correct. I don't even have my own opinion. They're right."
I mean, there's people who are like, XQC said that this shit sucks. I haven't even seen it. I don't know what it is, but it sucks. The Juicer King says it's dog shit, so it's dog shit. Like, what is bandwagoning? Is what they call that, right? To an extent,
it's kind of sad.
And that goes even farther because people online can just say whatever they want. They can be like, "Yo, this game is garbage," and then people are gonna go, "Yeah, you know what? This game is garbage," and then they're never gonna touch it.
I can't wait till people get on my bandwagon and agree with me on how bad One Piece is.
Already starting shit.
You're gonna make Voltage start yelling at you,
I'm just
dog.
kidding. I'm just callback humor.
But it's just, it sucks. And there are some people who get to that point by like not being controversial. But I made a video the other day where Dr. Disrespect said, "Where are the games?" And I said, "Sorry, there isn't 3 other kind of war zones that you can play. You're not saying where are the games. There are thousands. Literally, the Steam Summer Sale is going on
thousands
right
of games. Get them now.
Like it's so they're cheap and there's so many games. The fact that you can't find anything to play that's like not sweaty is beyond me. Like, I'm playing Valorant now, but that's because I want to sweat in it. But when I want to play something else, bro, I'm gonna switch to fucking me and Thomas been playing We're Here Together, and that was really fun. I have Hitman. Like, we have Resident, like, there's so many other games you can play, and people just get caught up in the same, like, 3 video games.
If it's not AAA, I don't want nothing about it.
Right?
Yeah, if it's not AAA, I'm not touching that shit.
Where's my quadruple A? Where's the quadruple A studios at?
Yeah, where's the 2 AAAs making a quadruple A? That's what I'm looking for.
If I put 2 A batteries in, does that count as double A?
I'm looking for the S tier, okay? I don't even want A's. I want an S, okay? Yeah. Whoa. I need the best. Wow. And I need their games to come out every 6 months so I can replace my graphics card constantly. And I need them to make that shit perfect. Read my mind, okay? And make it free.
Make it free, but no battle passes. You can't pay your devs.
The devs should work for free.
Not even a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, not even a little bit. Just like somebody on Twitter told me that everybody bitches about Apex, and then I said, "Well, if you really want to make an impact, just don't buy the heirloom." Yeah. And they said, "But how do the devs get paid? They get
a salary.
They get paid regardless. Like, that's a normal 9-to-5 job, fam. It's the big payments that's going to the big dogs.
Yeah,
bro.
Ain't no dev seeing a piece of that bonus.
No, unfortunately.
No, not even
I'd love
to
know the amount of devs, the rift between devs that might like the pay to be fancy method, or the let's put out a complete game at the beginning, and like, here's a $60 game. It is complete for you. Let's continue building DLC that people can buy or whatever. I don't know. There's a time and a place for the shiny method, but I don't like it personally. I don't buy skins.
A lot of games have just killed the trust with their community.
Big
you look at like Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk, had
fucking CD Projekt Red just killed all their trust. Everybody had so much trust in them because of
Well, yes, but even the one of the reasons I didn't play Witcher 3 was because I watched the previews during E3 for 2 years solid, showing how great the game was going to be, and then when it came out, it looked like a cup of pudding in comparison to what they were showing as live previews. And it was sad. It was like, this isn't what you guys were saying you were going to deliver. So that was my first problem with The Witcher, so I didn't pay full price because I was like, I know I'm going to be a little bit disappointed. So I waited like a year to even play it, and then I didn't even like the way it played anyways. And then they did it again with Cyberpunk. Granted, their community was forcing them to release it. They were mad that it got pushed back.
Yeah, they didn't want to release a broken product, but everybody was like, release it now.
Unfortunately, yes. I mean, I'm not blaming the studio completely for that, but I don't know. Sometimes waiting is the better method.
Like, if No Man's Sky, this might be controversial. If No Man's Sky released a year after it originally launched, when No Man's Sky Next came out, which might have been a couple years after it launched, I don't remember exactly. But if No Man's Sky were to launch in any state other than its base state, like when they had the Next with the vehicles and the
would have been way better
co-op, it is the best sci-fi game to exist.
So
the best open world exploring sci-fi game to exist.
I want to hear you guys take on Starforge coming up.
Oh, Starfield.
Starforge.
Starfield.
Space
what's the
Skyrim.
One Space Skyrim.
Dude, I know a lot of people
No
are
Man's
like,
Sky
dude,
too?
it's like it's stupid. It's just gonna be No Man's Sky again. I just want to put it into perspective for you. It's
I mean, I will
Skyrim.
say, if there's one thing that Bethesda can do, it is make an RPG game. They know what they're doing, and they've been doing it for a really long time. Leave them alone.
Now, is it going to be?
Granted, the only problem I have with it,
or is it going to be Space Fallout 76?
It better not be. I swear to God.
I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be like a fucking space. What is that walking simulator? Space Death Stranding.
Listen, Death Stranding was a good game in its own right.
Yeah, but I don't want it to be where you just walk around and explore like that. I want to actually, if it plays like a better Skyrim, Fallout,
open world
like
RPG style,
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be really good. The only problem is they say they've been working on it for how long? Like,
yeah, it's been a long time.
Years?
I don't remember what the article said, but
if they've been working on it for 10 years, a decade or something, and then they say that and it comes out as a piece of hot
or it's
fucking
missing
garbage,
a bunch of content.
Right, like that's the stuff that worries me. Is I don't have any doubt that it's going to be a good game, because if you literally called it not Starfield and you called it Space Skyrim, I'm still fucking playing
everyone
it.
would buy it.
Dude, Skyrim in
your boy
space,
just comes
bro?
down. He's got like the fucking the Skyrim helm on, but he's also got like a fishbowl over top of that.
He touches a piece of moon dust, and it says another hand touches the blah blah blah. I'm waiting for it.
Another hand touches the beacon. That's what I'm saying. That shit would be. I would be lit for that.
They're really
down
good
for that. If you told me it's just Space Skyrim, like that's fine. But the fact that they're trying to go a different direction and they're using a different universe, because they've had the Fallout universe for 20 years, 25 years. They've had the Elder Scrolls universe for 20 or 25 years or something crazy. This is their first.
It's a totally new IP, completely new.
And a totally new universe instead of just making Fallout 5.
Which they are working on a new Fallout. And I believe they're remastering New Vegas. So, which would be great.
Yeah, New Vegas alone is gonna. I'm sorry, but
as long as they put it on the new engine, which goes above 60 FPS, which I'm pretty sure they confirmed it does.
That is the only thing too. They all need a new engine. That's what I said. That's what I said forever ago when I was like, if they're talking about making new games and they don't make a new engine, I'm never supporting Bethesda again, because they cannot release the 19th game on the same engine they've been releasing since Fallout 3. Like that cannot happen anymore. I'm not playing at 60 FPS because your shit's broken when it goes above 60. I turn into fucking Quicksilver when it goes faster than that. Everything's so fucking quick.
So where should the next Fallout game be?
There was a rumor about that.
Texas.
Actually, I don't want to misquote.
Where would you like to see it to be? Personally, I always like Florida just because we got Florida man memes.
It's crazy here, dude.
Where would it be? I feel like it would have to be wherever the Fallout games been.
Vegas or out in the far west.
Obviously.
It's been Boston, DC. Isn't 76 in West Virginia apparently somewhere around there?
Somewhere in West Virginia.
What about like mountains? Like straight up Skyrim style mountains.
Colorado.
You could do mountains, but I like Civilization. I would like to see like not big open fields. I'd like to walk through a city.
You're like a
I feel like doing it in California
granted,
would be cool.
when they did Boston, the Boston one, that was a city, and Fallout 4 was 2, technically. I don't know. It'd be interesting. Getting off a track though.
I feel like having a city like that would be really cool though.
If they allowed everything to be actually open, yeah, that would be cool.
If they did, that's why I like Division, because Division lets you go into a lot of shit, a lot of buildings and explore. We got to explore a whole mall, and there was nothing in there but loot, and that was great.
But back to the topic at hand. We always
I got way off track talking about streaming and content creation.
It kind of leads into the other topic that we were finishing off on the last podcast, about how nowadays we have all these games available to us, all this accessibility, and yet we complain about games, we force them to come out, we push dev studios, we want to buy things, then we don't want to buy things. The gaming community as a whole is kind of nitpicky, kind of elitist, whether they mean to or not, and that's not everybody. But in comparison to how us elder gamers here played in the 80s and 90s, we were just excited to get one game on one platform, and we played it 1,000 times, and we were happy to have it.
And you couldn't save it.
And you could not save it. Again, we talked about that last podcast. Seriously. Y'all don't understand the struggle. You don't get it. 9 little saves was not a lot back in the PlayStation days. But
I mean, hearing Lisa tell me when I was playing the old Resident Evil, she goes, "You better make sure you save that tape reel because you only get 6 of them." And I'm like, "What do you mean by that?" So you only get 6 of them. Those are your saves for the entire game. And I'm like, I don't think they do that anymore. They don't.
But on the old ones, they did. Yeah.
Back then, they did. And back then, games as a service didn't exist.
Bro, if I could see a
which
kid
is what we have now
from today's day and age beat Lion King on...
Bro, if you can beat the Lion King level where they're all eating and dancing around you and you can somehow platform up that shit, please send me a video, because that shit was so hard.
If only we were the gamers we are now back in the day.
That Lion King game was so difficult. I know exactly what you're talking about. That shit was hard.
I just can't wait to
be king. It was so hard, dude, to climb that thing.
In that level.
But it, it's just back then when they released a game, when you went into Blockbuster or you went to Toys R Us and you bought a game, that was the finished product. They could not update it or change it.
That was it.
Just that's what it was. Like, if it was broken in some way and like there was a glitch that made you run faster, fam, that was permanent. Like,
that's a feature.
Mm-hmm.
That's a feature. That was a speedrunning tactic that everybody used. Nowadays, they'll be like, we're just gonna push this half-ass, broken-ass game, and then we'll update it as it goes because people are gonna buy this shit like hotcakes anyway. You know what that's called now? Early access.
Started on early access, dude.
There are games that are still like is grounded. I've played Grounded since it came out, and that bitch has been in early access for 2 years. It is getting
released. At least they're doing that.
It is getting released, but it's been in early access forever. There's games that have been... Do you know why it's been in early access? It's because they're still releasing updates for it and like adding DLC that's free, which is great. But I don't understand why early access. There's
games that have been literally abandoned in early access format. Like they just were walked away from, and they just pay for the service.
I got another one for you.
Yeah.
Early access or day one patch that basically requires you to download the whole game again.
Neither.
You don't get a choice. Well, you get a choice, but it's only A or B. You don't get no C's and D's.
I don't know. I think I'd rather
I'd
rather deal with the patch. Bro. Give me a complete game. In my opinion.
Yeah, but even the day one patch isn't even going to be complete. They're still going to patch it again.
I got these 18 gigabytes of download speed. Just give me the day one patch. Let's be about it.
I don't know.
Let me play my game.
That's what I'm saying. The patches to me are fine. Early access to me, early access isn't bad. It's bad when you make people pay for your game that's
pay
not
to test,
complete.
and that's unfortunate.
They're like, you know what? Instead of hiring beta testers, we're a group of 3 German dudes in our garage. We're gonna just post this game on Steam and put that bitch up for $15, and then you buy it. You're testing it for us, but you paid us to test it. And even if it's bad, even if we never release it, fam, we got 16,000 of you to buy it for $15, bro. We're walking away with cash anyway.
See, I got a 2-hour egg timer. I put it to 1 hour and 50 minutes.
I'm refunding that shit
immediately.
I mean, I literally beat a game and refunded it. Did I feel bad I didn't support the developers? Yeah, but make a game that's longer than 2 hours.
You know?
Like, and then, but
y'all already know Steam is doing this. Y'all
see, but then that
you know the risk.
And then that 2 hour that 2 hour window can be scummy too, because people will like put shit in at the beginning to make it arbitrarily longer, just so you're stuck after 2 hours.
We almost had this conversation yesterday, but when I was playing Jump Force, and I couldn't skip the introduction scene. I don't care, man. And then like we got into it, and I was like, cool. They remade DBZ Xenosaga instead of just making DBZ fighters. That's a whole different.
Yeah, you know why I can't upload? You know why I couldn't refund Jump Force? It was only $5. But you know why I couldn't refund it? It's because once I got past all the arbitrary shit and actually started the story, it was 2.5 hours into the game. So I couldn't refund it because they added all the arbitrary shit, so I couldn't refund it. They made a game like that.
But at least they were smart enough to do that from the dev side of things.
It just, ugh.
Voltage has an interesting question. He asks, do we think the Epic Store is a good thing for Steam to set up, to step it up?
No.
Epic Store does not even remotely compare to Steam. Epic is terrible.
A tiny flicker of a fart in comparison to Steam's giant pile.
Steam's been doing that thing for a long time.
Just because Epic releases 2 games a month that are free does not mean that it's even remotely better. Their UI is garbage.
Their security
is garbage. Their chat is garbage. Their security is garbage. The only reason they have games on their platform, and Epic, I hope you hear this because I don't fucking like you, is because they pay people to be on their platform. That is the only reason they have people on their platform, is they pay for exclusivity. Do you know why people don't permanently be exclusive to Epic? Because they don't make enough money on Epic.
Bank payout.
The moment Borderlands 3 launched on Steam, they made 3 times the money they did on Epic.
And Voltage commented that Steam seems like it has a monopoly. But the thing is, it's a platform, though.
They do.
A developer can also just release, or a development studio can release their games DRM, meaning no platform attachment to the game. Like we used to buy them.
Yeah.
Download it from our website, download it from a disc, whatever the case is. DRM free. Like,
buy a disc.
They can do that. They're paying for the. It's like Etsy. It's like anything like that. You're paying for that convenience to have your game on a humongous platform where you will get people to play your game. Like, that's what it is.
See, unlike Epic, Steam doesn't reach out to you to post your game on there because they know they're a platform. They're like, people will come to us to put games. I can just go on there and upload 6 lines of code and make that a video game if I wanted to. Period. Like, they don't reach out to people and ask them to put the game on there. They're just like, if you want to, you can. Epic is the one reaching out to people because Epic is hemorrhaging money to make sure they pay hundreds of thousands upon millions of dollars to get 6 months of exclusivity.
And I mean, it works.
Like 2K, I guarantee Borderlands, like Borderlands from 2K made them pay out. They made them pay an entire body's worth of money to be able to have that shit exclusive for a year.
We literally waited until it came out on Steam.
Valve is on a Riot client.
Yep.
Which Riot has their own client.
And even some other development studios have realized that it's not worth it to have their own launcher, to have their own mini platform, that they just give it to Steam, because Steam genuinely, whether you want to look at it as a monopoly or not, because remember, I mean, it is a platform. They're taking a cut just to be used as a marketing system, but they have, it's a great system. Steam has been around for a long time. I have given them my credit cards, I have given them my addresses, I have tens of thousands of dollars.
They got a sample of my
for
blood,
real.
2003
yeah, I
is
was
when
gonna
Steam
say
dropped.
I remember when it started coming out because it was after Half-Life days, but um they've built their trust, and for good reason. They've done a good job.
Like she said, I have PayPal on there. I have my credit cards on there, address, and all I had to do was put a 2-factor on that shit. And as long as you don't click on phishing links or you sign into some overlay that gets put on your computer, there's literally nothing somebody can do to hack.
I mean, if Steam started selling mortgages, I'm gonna be over there in a minute.
Absolutely.
It's just to me that it absolutely blows my mind when people are like, my whole Steam account got hacked. I think I'm like, then you clicked on something that you shouldn't have clicked on and signed into a website you shouldn't have signed into.
I just wanted to play.
That just doesn't happen.
Eminem pissing on a little girl, jumpforce.exe.wave, okay?
Yeah, and then you click on it, and then it puts. I've had that happen before when I was selling CSGO skins. It popped up, and it popped up an overlay on my screen. That was an entire overlay, and it showed that I had to sign in to get rid of the overlay. That was me getting scammed. And
you caught it.
And I turned that shit off, and I was fine. But Steam has earned their trust over the past almost 20 years.
I've literally used the Steam platform since it came out.
People try to compete with them, and there's only a couple that I ever have, to even to a small degree. Like, I like Battle.net, but that's because I play WoW. And that's where you have to go to play WoW. And the Battle.net
launcher is all right.
But their launcher isn't horrible. Is their shop
it pretty much
awkward as
redirects
shit?
you to their main website.
Yeah, but it's still a really good launcher, but no launcher can come close to what Steam does. And everybody thinks Epic is competing with them when Epic is just using their mass amounts of profit from Fortnite to fuel the fact that they're making people play exclusive. Like, Steam doesn't ever send me push notifications about what
only
games
when you
are
restart the system.
Meanwhile, when I have Epic open, that shit sends me stuff constantly going, hey, did you know that Sifu's OST DLC ball fidget spinners on sale if you go to this specific website? And I'm like, I don't care. Stop sending me that.
For your balls now?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh my god. Oh man. And that brings us to a good fact that, yes, since we're talking about Steam, the Steam Summer Sale is going on, everybody. I was going to wait for the news segment, but yes, Steam Summer Sale is going on.
They're not paying us to say this at all.
They're not paying us at all. This is unsponsored. But Steam Summer Sale, it's probably because I'm actually been sitting here looking at the Steam Summer Sale. But yeah, the Steam Summer Sale is going on, and it's probably the best time to buy video games.
Always buy during sales.
On Steam, like everything is so cheap.
If you don't need something right away, wait for a sale. Always, it's the way to do it.
Yeah, like you can get Dying Light Definitive Edition for fucking $12.
Amazing.
Which is all DLC. It's literally better than the edition that I have. It's $12.
Absolutely.
Crazy. You can get DayZ for almost half off. Ghostwire Tokyo, that's a shitty game, but it's half off. There's so many, like even Village, Resident Evil Village.
Yeah, they got a lot on sale.
If you want to play Shit Rising, it's 10% off. Like, it's fucking. There's so many good games that are. And
you know that brings me back to what we were talking about, though. Imagine having that type of accessibility to games 20 years ago.
Oh, dude,
imagine us being kids, 10 years old, 8 to 15, whatever, kids, just literally, what are kids these days feeling? Like, do they even realize how amazing it is that they can just sit there, click buy, and play in 5 minutes any game they want, within reason?
No, they don't have that thing where they have to go out to Blockbuster and be like,
where you had to beg your mom for 2 weeks to take you to Toys R Us.
Mom, Mom, I just want to go get the Super Mario game, Mom, please. And then she'd be like, fine.
It's Pokemon Yellow.
You.
It's like Pokemon Blue and Red, but it's different.
And you know that if you got rid of that game or you accidentally sent it back too early, that your save was gone forever. And if you didn't buy it, it was gone, and you're just like, dude, fuck.
I'm telling you, just we're all so spoiled, and I'm not just talking about kids these days, like that don't know any different, but even us adults nowadays, the ones that are paying for early access games and paying for skins and paying for a bunch of bullshit that we don't need to pay for. We are so damn spoiled. We can literally do whatever we want when it comes to games. We even cheat in them. I mean, good lord. And here we are complaining about minor things being wrong with the game. God forbid a dev does something wrong or they make a change that you don't like. Granted, I wish more communities, dev studios listen to their communities, I should say, but still, we're all so spoiled. We just don't realize.
Just give us the email address, not of the devs, but at the person above the devs manager who's making the decisions on how things should be done, because that's the people fucking it up.
Exactly. That is.
It's the money people.
It's the people getting them paychecks.
Okay, this is about to. We're halfway through the episode today, and we're about to get super off topic because
hell yeah,
I don't know if you've been hearing about this Ezra Miller.
What did he do now? What did he do? What did he do now? I just told you about the shit he's been doing. I just told you. What did he do now?
So if you don't know about the Ezra Miller stuff, the Flash is the Flash, Ezra Miller
Thomas,
is like
he's a bad guy.
He is, dude. He is.
This man has problems.
Bad boy.
Dude.
The Flash is world star. Yeah, you're right, Voltage. He be stealing things. He be beating bitches up. He be doing drugs. He getting caught and shit.
Bro, he out here Ray racing.
Dude, he's hitting people. He's going ballistic. He's running away from the cops, and hold on,
everybody.
On Instagram about it, going, you can't catch
me. Hold on, everybody. This dude has not lost his. This dude has not lost his jobs. Did he finally lose him?
Yeah, they
finally.
Disney
good.
fired him already.
Good.
He's gone. But the thing is people are freaking out because they fired him, and they're still releasing the movie. People are going, you need to not go spend money on this movie.
Bro,
well, you know
what kind of curse does Disney have where all their stars are fucking up?
No. Listen. This just got posted a couple hours ago. This morning actually.
Okay.
By Rolling Stone. Apparently Ezra Miller has been housing an entire family.
Not just the 12-year-old girl?
There are 3 children. No, there are 3 children and their mother.
Man.
And the 1-year-old is just, and there are weapons lying around the entire house, and the 1-year-old has just been chewing on a loose bullet. Like,
we started a whole ass cult. He was gonna take over the country, bro.
Like, they said he has unattended guns laying around the home on a 96-acre property. That's a lot of fucking land.
Does he make them all wear red and yellow?
No, but they're in ropes, fam.
Miller says he claims that he helped them escape to a violent and abusive ex or something like that, but he just has children.
He just have a whole ass family locked in the basement. What the fuck?
Yeah, and it's I cannot believe that this shit is.
I told you a couple weeks ago that he was crazy.
They said he just has like flintlock pistols and like little quad shooters and revolvers, and the baby just picked up a bullet and started chewing on it like.
My God.
Why do you just have a stray bullet?
Just in case.
Like, dude.
Wow.
Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because I've been seeing people talk about him, and it's just.
Wow.
Oh man, it's just crazy that's what's happening.
Never let them know your next move is an understatement, love.
They're saying Ezra Miller's rope method acting the reverse Flash.
Homie has lost it. He is. They're not lying. He's in another dimension. Good God, that's fucking wild. Oh, the times we're living in.
Oh man.
Well,
we need to take all the stars from Justice League and just put them in a house and just Big Brother them.
Someone needs to do something.
Just to see how dysfunctional that shit is.
I just wanted to take that little 3-minute break to talk about Ezra Miller before we got into the rest of it.
Had to give it a little IRL.
Because, dude, that is so... I was just looking at Twitter and I saw him trending and I go,
God.
what the fuck? And it's like Ezra Miller has 3 children and their mother hiding in a house in Vermont.
And I'm going to tell you, there ain't shit in Vermont besides dairy cows.
And then you literally click on it and it goes, and the 1-year-old child picked up a bullet and started chewing on it. And I'm like, why? What? That sounds like
kids,
like a fucking
a farm, guns and weed.
Give it 10 years, they'll make a movie about him. Guaranteed.
Oh yeah, it'll be the funniest documentary. Oh man, that was really funny to me. All right, and since we've done our episode 8 continuations, we're not talking about Ezra Miller anymore.
Back on topic.
Like I said though, is he literally was shit posting them on social media saying that he's in another dimension and they'll never catch him, and then eventually
he thinks
deleted
he is the
Instagram.
Flash, guys. He genuinely.
Yeah, he literally thinks he is the Flash. Speaking of people who are lying to us, Blizzard has lied to us yet again, and well, you know me and Lisa. I don't know about Thomas. We're really advocates for Blizzard because we love Blizzard. We play WoW.
Blizzard, the original company. Okay. Activision has completely dismantled.
Activision has completely ruined Blizzard
as
a whole. But they have come
as
out
of an hour ago, literally an hour or two ago, they actually announced that Overwatch 2, I don't know who has played the beta, Overwatch 2 will be replacing Overwatch 1. Now, I have spoken about this previously. When they announced Overwatch 2 3 years ago during BlizzCon, they were talking about it being 2 separate games that could play together in some or all capacities. Okay, no problem. Then they started saying some other things, and we were hoping that maybe they would just make it a DLC, right? Just a big ass new patch to Overwatch 1. We already have an Overwatch. We don't need a second one necessarily, minus the PvE. But again, it could have been a DLC, it could have been an update, an expansion pack, whatever you want to call it. However, since we've played the beta, which some people like it, some people really hate it, it was kind of mid, right? They're now saying yes, it will be replacing Overwatch 1. So, I don't necessarily know that I'm opposed to that. But this is weird. I just wish they would stick to a story, and go with that. So now they're saying in October when it launches, it will be replacing Overwatch 1. So again, totally opposite story than we had 3 years ago.
See, it's not whether you're okay with it or not. It's the fact that that's what they're saying. It's the fact that when they first announced it, they said you're going to be able to play Overwatch 1 and still be able to play with Overwatch 2 people. And then they're like, fucking Uno reverse card, psych, bitch.
When I first heard that, I was like, yeah, they're going to replay. Like, I saw this coming. He's like, as a dev, like, it's too hard to make 2 separate clients.
I agree. I was wondering
2 separate
how they were going to do that. We've been
it's
wondering that the whole time. However, here's my question, right? So Overwatch 1 has been around. It works on many, many computers, right? Like it's playable. Overwatch 2 is built on an upgraded engine from what they had advertised 3 years ago. That it's built on an upgraded engine. I'm assuming it will be a little bit more physically demanding for computers, for maybe not for consoles. But is that going to be an issue? I don't know if that's going to be an issue or not. And again, the PvP will be free. They announced that a few days ago. PvP will be free, but the PvE will be paid for. I'm not opposed to that. I'll probably buy it. The PvE was fun when I played the beta of that during BlizzCon. That was a while ago. But My issue again is more so they said one thing 2-3 years ago and then they changed their story and now they changed their story again. That's fine. I don't know how I feel about them going about it this way. It's strange. It's strange to me.
Seems like a weird way to market the game too, where half of it is free and the other half you gotta pay for.
Yeah, a lot of people are confused about this. Actually,
I mean, that's how Fortnite
true.
started.
Fortnite was originally the
PvP.
As Fortnite had the battle royale, and then they had Save the World, and then they're like, "Fuck it, everything's free."
Yeah, I never got my money back for Save the World. God dang it! But
me either. But it's just the Overwatch thing.
But I will say this: when Fortnite was, did their funding, their bootstrap funding for the original Save the World game, we knew initially that, hey, here's the game, here's what we're going to do, here's what we have plans for in the future. They didn't know that their BR would take the fuck off. They had no idea it was going to be the next big thing. So Save the World got eclipsed really hardcore. But there was an idea of what they wanted to do. Whereas Blizzard said 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, whatever it was now, here's what we're going to do, here's what the plans are in the future. And then they changed it the year after, and then they changed it again, and now we're getting a final answer where we are replacing the original one. And again, I'm not opposed to that. I'm not saying that that's the wrong move. It just seems weird how they're going about it. And if I'm not mistaken, this was confirmed in an interview. It wasn't even like an official publication, I don't think. I'm pretty sure it was an interview with one of the devs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so. And reminder to everybody who does not like Activision Blizzard. You just don't like Activision. Blizzard was a great company before they were acquired by Activision. Activision has 100% ruined that fucking company. They do
dismantle development studios. Yes.
Was there a
I'm still mad about what they did with Infinity Ward.
Was there a fucking lawsuit before it was Activision Blizzard? No. This only started within the years that Activision acquired.
And a lot of the original Blizzard employees are gone. They have started new started new studios or retired or whatever the case is. But the heart of Blizzard that was there, the few people that still work there.
And did you hear the rest of it that came out about the lawsuit, the sexual harassment lawsuits?
I thought it got settled.
It got settled, but when you scroll down and you read, they released the whole document. When you look at who they hired to do internal investigations, is they literally hired their own company to do internal investigations.
That's what shady companies do.
So they're like, yeah, nothing happened. So that's why Thomas is typing in chat saying, according to me, I never did anything wrong.
Internal investigations aren't bad. That as a general, when you have a company that big, it is good to have some sort of accountability department that can say, okay, here's what's going wrong. But we know Activision, we know EA, we know companies like that. Nothing's going to happen because ultimately they're reporting to someone else that makes more money than them. It's not going to be like an independent thing. It's sadly.
It's not the internal affairs like top departments have.
It's not.
Where they're actually kind of mean
and we all know something went wrong and we know something terrible happened, and hazing and shit like that, harassment happens in tons of businesses, not just video game studios. It's just that some people started getting sloppy and getting caught doing things that they should not have been doing in the first place. They should have been fired appropriately as soon as someone said something the first time. It shouldn't have had to come to people taking it to court. It should be.
Listen, this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get a bunch of hookers. I'm gonna put them in my hotel room. Nothing's gonna happen. But if it did, you didn't hear nothing about it. Okay, just
But if it did, they all signed an NDA. That means they can't talk about it.
Technically, they weren't hookers. I just gave them money to be in the room. I didn't give them money for sex. I just gave them.
I wanted them to be my friends. They were my guests.
Oh, what else?
Enough about Blizzard
today, because we already talked about the Steam. We already talked about the Steam Summer Sale, so we don't really need to mention that again. Xbox Cloud Gaming is supposed to add keyboard and mouse support in the future, which I think
I agree. I do not. As much as I know people are going to want that.
People have asked me this many, many times. They said, do you think consoles should have keyboard and mouse support? Should they have keyboard and mouse support? Yes. If they put you in other people who are using keyboard and mouse lobbies. The moment you use keyboard and mouse, you are no longer playing on console. You're just using it as a PC. Because if you're playing console Siege and you're playing with keyboard and mouse, that's fucking cheating. Like, I'm sorry, but that's cheating. Nobody has that kind of control on a controller. With the moment you put like a keyboard and mouse in, you're playing against other PC players. Just in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I think general support for keyboard and mouse, not a bad idea. But yeah, for in-game, yeah, if you're going to pit keyboard and mouse, it needs to be fair. It needs to be against other people using keyboard and mouse, and not controller users. That's shady.
Yeah, even if they don't put them against PC players and they put you against other console players who are using keyboard and mouse, that's fine. But you should not be able to plug in a keyboard and mouse to your Xbox or to your PlayStation and face other people who are not doing it.
And you shouldn't be able to change it midway through the game, because what if you come into the lobby, you got your thing with the controller, and you're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be fun, yeah. And then right before the match starts, you see the little icon switch over, and you're like, oh.
Or the people that have both plugged in and the game just recognizes it as controller.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't.
I mean, there used to be a way you could get fucking aim assist in Apex by making the game think you had a controller plugged in by like holding down a button that was not bound to anything and then using your keyboard and mouse, and it would only detect the controller.
Crazy to me.
But give you aim assist.
I'd like to hear people's feedback on that though, because that's an interesting thing.
Yeah, I'd like to hear.
I know a lot of people have been asking for it for a few years.
Be sure to tell us in our Discord, in our podcast feedback section, if you would like to. Also, you can probably comment on the YouTube or damn near anywhere else that has comments. I don't know what else has comments.
Send it to my PO box.
I don't know how to check.
With a check.
Send it to my PO box. You can email me. With a check. They just send me a blue check mark.
Send it with stamps. I need stamps.
Speaking of other things that probably shouldn't be added, Val and League are going to Game Pass, and I know a lot of people are excited about that. I'm fucking not, because I've spent blue essence on every single League character since the game came out. I have bought every Val character since the game came out, and Game Pass gets them all for free.
As long as they're Game
What a kick in the dick to everybody who's playing their fucking games, dude. As long as my Game Pass is active, which is $10 a month,
it's so
I get all the Val and all the League characters for free. Like that, oh my god. The problem with that, in my eyes, is smurfing. Now you can just pay $10 on Game Pass and make as many accounts as you want, and you have all the characters.
True, I didn't think about that.
Gonna find
it's
a way
easy to tell
to
it's easy to tell the Smurfs now because they usually always play Jet. Now that Smurf can just play whoever they want because they have everybody.
True. That is definitely a weird decision on their part to make.
They want more money, bro, I guess. Microsoft must have paid them some fat fucking cash.
I mean, I told you a while ago, they checked out. Like, they're done. They're cashing in. They're moving on to the next things.
Yeah, fucking Riot's moving on. That's why I'm going to try to get Radiant and then move the fuck on to CSGO again.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Eventually. That's just disappointing to hear because I really like Riot, but I feel like the direction they're going, they're kind of just hurting themselves more than anything else.
But that's so many companies, though. Unfortunately, that just go for the cash rather than anything else. Not that people don't deserve to get paid well in that industry, but I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. It just feels it feels kind of meh. Good question. Dragon asked, he doesn't understand how Game Pass is a profitable scheme for the game devs. 99% of games on Game Pass are owned by Microsoft anyway. Because Microsoft owns a ridiculous
And I will pause right there and add to the business side of things. When a business does something like a Game Pass, say they're making, I'm just going to use a round number, say they're making $1 million. The traditional way of putting out games, and they can account for that. We had this many sales and this is how much we made. If they switch that format and they put money into changing the format, developing something proprietary like a Game Pass, changing the way they're making their money, and they can show a profit loss, a net decrease that comes off of their taxes. So it is a profitable loophole for them. They will pay less in taxes for those losses. So in a business sense, it makes perfect sense to do something whether it looks profitable or not, because when you own a big business, when you have a net profit loss, it comes off of your taxes. So,
and from a development side, it's also a really small effort load to put something like that in place.
yeah, I'd imagine.
To stand up an API that talks between Microsoft and your own servers that says, hey, this person's got this, let's give them X, Y, and Z, blah 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 blah, move on.
Like yeah, this. Makes sense.
Real easy.
Look at us. Look at this. We got the streamer standpoint, the business standpoint, and the fucking development standpoint all in one. God, this is the best podcast ever.
But Microsoft owns
yes, they have been
lot of
snatching
shit. They
shit
own
up.
A lot of shit. So anything they put on the Game Pass is usually under a company that they owned, that they owned,
currently,
that they own. Which, like, Microsoft owns LinkedIn, Blizzard, GitHub. They own Minecraft, which is Mojang, which is why that's happening. They own ZeniMax Media, which is the parent company of Bethesda, which means they own all the Bethesda franchises now, right? They own Xandr, which Xandr was an AT&T something AT&T formed. They now own that. They own Skype. Like, they own a lot of stuff.
Of software development companies, not just games, but software in general.
And they own GitHub. GitHub is where, like, so many devs post shit. So many devs post shit on there, and I mean, they own that.
They own the servers that we use to run all the fucking all the things that we need to run. That shit's not cheap.
Yeah. Like ZeniMax, for instance, they bought ZeniMax. ZeniMax owns Alpha Dog Games, Arcane Studios, Bethesda, ID, Machines, Roundhouse, Tango. Like, all of these companies are, I'm not going to say they're massive, but, like, that's where Dishonored, Deathloop, Prey come from. They come from Arcane. Bethesda, we obviously know who Bethesda is. ID makes Doom, Quake, Rage, Wolfenstein, and plenty of other games. Like, Machine Games is another company that makes Wolfenstein. Tango makes all the Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo. So that's why they can put all this shit on there, because they own it. Anything that they're making off of that is profit, essentially. They'd rather you pay $10 a month to not play any of their games, because when people think about $10 a month, like me as a streamer, I'm just like, $10 a month. I'm like, I'd forget about that sometimes. Be like, fuck, I'm still subbed to Game Pass. I got to delete that shit. And because I use Game Pass from time to time, then sometimes I forget about it. And I did. I don't use Game Pass anymore, so I turned that shit off. But I bought it when it was $5, so they still kept charging me $5. Yeah, which was nice. So I didn't lose too much money.
And you know, a lot of people don't know this as well. Again, from like the business standpoint of things, not only does now Microsoft is the umbrella parent company of all these things. They own them. That doesn't necessarily mean they're all super interconnected. Like, that doesn't mean Microsoft is giving specific instructions to these development companies. They just own it. So, like, there are quarterly, yearly, whatever reports that'll get sent up the pipeline to Microsoft, that Microsoft really only cares about the money coming in, how that balances out. But Microsoft also owns, they have stake by owning shares of companies that have nothing to do with Microsoft. Like, did you know Microsoft owns part of Apple? Microsoft owns part of Facebook. They own parts of other big companies, so they have a say so in what happens in other realms of the world as well. So, just
it might not be a big say so, but when a company like Microsoft tells you, hey,
I mean, they own.
When they start helicoptering into the room, you know, okay, back up.
I mean, they own. I'd be surprised if they didn't own a large chunk of a lot of those companies, but I know they own parts of cable companies, cell phone networks. They own a lot of stuff. So, yeah, all of those big companies are intermingled.
Dude, I just realized how I just realized how much fucking Tencent got out of the profitable. Like
Tencent is humongous. God.
The amount of profit Tencent made off of Riot is insane because they only spent $400 million
and I'm sure
to acquire
it's probably
93%
valued over $10 billion.
Oh, they're worth so much more now.
And what's crazy is Tencent is actually a new company. It's only been around for like 20 years. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, Tencent was founded.
Yeah, it's not very
in
old.
1998.
Like I said, it's like 20 years old.
But they came out of nowhere. They must have some big spenders in that group because they're making like
they are.
Of course, they have.
They're making a fucking bank. But at like, whew, it's just wild to me. And they own a lot of shit too.
Tencent's and everything too. They're very similar to like a Microsoft or Facebook or whatever.
It's like Tencent's like Microsoft, Facebook, and Amazon, but make it Chinese.
But make it Chinese.
And that's what they are.
That was great.
That's what they are. They're like they got their fingers in everything, and it's kind of crazy.
They do. Just remember, kids, when you're complaining about your indie game that you like or anything, just remember it's owned by someone else, and ultimately money's the only thing that matters. So. Just remember.
At the same time, you'd be like, no, my game doesn't work. Yeah, but you already paid for it. They don't fucking care.
Like, it doesn't matter.
They don't fucking care.
Back to what we were talking about Valorant. Stuff going to Game Pass. How are you enjoying the new Valorant act, Bobo? How are you liking it? Tell us your thoughts.
The new
yeah,
act
some people probably haven't played it.
Well, I think the new weapon set, which is what everybody cares about, is awesome. I think it looks great. I just don't like fucking swords, and that's what the knife is. It's a big ass sword. Pearl, Pearl plays. It's supposed to play like Inferno in CS:GO. It's supposed to be big with a lot of tight corners and some corridors and some buildings, but it's not CS:GO. It's fucking Valorant. And they're trying to make maps more akin to CS:GO, and I'm sorry, but that's not going to work. Because they don't play even remotely the same. And you want me to... It's just... the new rank, I think, is cool. I think the new rank's going to split up ranks a little bit easier. It's going to make climbing a little easier out of the lower ranks. It's just harder to get through the higher ranks. It's Ascendant. It's between Immortal and Diamond. And essentially, it can happen to you as it happens to people in, like, League, where you just get hard stuck Masters because somebody's keeping you at a Grandmaster now. Because they're not letting you get in it. And they just keep killing you right when you're on your rank up game. Right? There's also another big controversy going around. I doubt Thomas really cares about this part, but I'm still going to talk about it. Currently... I don't know if you know this, but Wardell, I'm not going to say he's anything like crazy in terms of a CSGO pro, but he was a pro at some point in time in CSGO. And he has stated that a lot of the people who play Valorant are brain dead, which in my opinion is a really bad way to put it. Saying that everybody's brain dead. However, anybody who thinks Valorant is harder than CS:GO is absolutely insane.
Yeah, we've talked about this a couple times,
and I will straight up tell you, Valorant is much easier than CS:GO. And if you want to know why, and you want to know how, and you're like, how does that work? Listen, somebody in Valorant got to Radiant, which is top 500 in Valorant, using a controller with no aim assist and only a shotgun. People in CS:GO do shotgun-only challenges for one game because it's very difficult to win a game like that. Let alone going up to one of the top ranks in the entire game.
So you're saying they need to nerf the shotgun?
Yes, they need to nerf the shotgun. And not to say Valorant's not hard, but it's not the same pacing. It's not the same style. It's not even the same, like, they don't even remotely play the same. and you get looked at as a maniac if you play like you're a CS:GO player in Valorant,
they
which is
play
what I
the same
do.
in the respect that they're both arena shooters. They're both
They're both arena tag shooters, but that's about it. They have very little similarities other than that, and people keep trying to compare them, and it's comparing apples and oranges. It's very that's like trying to compare Dota and League. They're the same type of game.
Anything else? No.
They're the same type of game, but you can't even like remotely compare the two in any way. But League of Legends is easier than Dota. Dota is fucking way more difficult in my opinion. Because there's like there's like 16 different shops or some shit.
Dota is like the angry granddad of MOBAs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's just the angry granddad of video games in general. That game is just everybody's grumpy on that shit. You want to get cussed out in Russian, bro? Go play that game.
I feel like the micro is harder in that game, but the macro isn't.
Yeah, I think that's probably correct. Macro in League is hard.
Yeah, because it's a much faster pace than Dota is.
Which is more toxic? That's a good question because I actually don't know. I don't know how toxic Dota can be. All I know is that League of Legends has told everybody that they were permanently removing their all chat because they didn't want people to tell people to. They didn't want slurs and people to tell each other to kill themselves anymore in all chat.
Going around smurfing in games, man. Fuck those people.
And they told everybody we're permanently removing all chat, and people were like, "Please don't do that." I mean, that's pretty toxic. If the developers are going, "Hey, we're just gonna remove this feature of the game so you guys stop."
That's sad. Honestly.
Shit? Yeah.
Oh man, sad. You know.
But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this episode. To this time around. Just to reiterate with everybody, July 7th through 10th, we're going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina for the ALGS tournament, the ALGS LAN championship, which is in 2 weeks from today.
Nothing has changed.
Oh my God, that's so close. Holy shit. Oh my God.
As soon as we have details for where we're going to be, we're still working out some details because we don't know what it's like in the arena, you know, testing and stuff like that. We're still figuring out details, but we are still planning on being there. It is Bobo's birthday week as well.
Yeah, that'll be my birthday weekend.
So we'll plan something.
Yeah, I'm gonna be getting crunk in North Carolina.
We'll plan something. We plan on meeting some people. Might do a public appearance or something to meet some peoples.
I don't call it a public appearance. I'm not a celebrity.
I'll call it what I want. Okay.
That sounds so gross. It sounds like I'm meeting my sounds like I'm meeting my
fans,
bro.
Well, we're gonna have a table set up, and you get to autograph your cheeks.
I get this. Oh, dude, the only thing I'm ever gonna sign if you come up to me.
Wow. I am leaving this podcast today.
No, Lisa, I was joking. If somebody asked me to sign their titties, I would do it and close my eyes.
I would forge a signature.
If anything, you should be signing butt cheeks. Okay, if anything.
But dude, I'd be down to sign some butt cheeks. That'd be cool. I just couldn't post that on TikTok. Unless I was that Mexican lady that's feeding her baby, and I'd show my whole titty. Like, that's fine. It's been up since May, and they still haven't removed it. But I showed my orange butt cheeks once, and it's nudity.
I'm sure you could find a baby to.
Let me hold your child.
Give me that kid. Don't lock him up in a basement like Ezra Miller, please. Let's not do that.
Oh my God. But yeah, we have the hotels booked. We have the tickets bought already. I have Ticketmaster and all that shit. So I'm excited. We will be in North Carolina 7 to
More
the 10th.
Details to come.
And we might not be at the event the whole time, but we'll probably be around the event a lot because I'm actually kind of excited. I don't know if I don't really feel like sitting in a seat around a bunch of other sweaty neck people and just sitting in an arena. It's just around a bunch. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to walk around with my mask off and not have to be sweating my balls off.
That is a valid point.
So I'm not going to do that. We're not going to do it the whole time, but I probably will watch at least the last day.
We're going to figure it out.
So I am ready for it. I think it's going to be really fun. I've never done this in a long, this in a while. So
absolutely.
I'm fucking hyped for it. But as for episode 9, sorry, we're a week late. I have the fucking hiccups, dude. sorry we're a week late, but we are currently moving right now.
We always have the excuses.
Well, we're working on moving, and it's just
it's not
fun. Especially not to another state. It's rough. Next week, y'all are gonna have to wing the podcast again. It's gonna be a free for all.
Yeah, she's not gonna be here next week. She's gonna be in Alabama.
Oh boy.
Unless something changes,
maybe next
then
week
she
you
will be
can
there.
feature a third person or something. We can have somebody on.
Yeah, maybe next week I'll see. I don't know if I want to bring Poe. Poe's a fucking idiot.
Oh man.
Maybe I'll see if I can find somebody. Like maybe I can. What if I got Drano on this bitch? Like, I mean,
we have plenty of people that we can invite on. It all depends on schedules and whatnot.
Yeah, I might see if I can invite somebody and get somebody's opinion. That'd be a big Apex talk, though. Aggie, I would literally shoot myself in the foot and get Aggie on. She will never stop talking.
It would be the Aggie podcast, 100%.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing either one of them. No. Nope. I'm skipping next podcast if that's what you want. We're not doing it. I'm not doing Poe and Aggie. That is going to be the worst podcast ever.
Imagine. Oh, it's good times.
I'm going to try to get an actual person.
They're not even people.
What the people want. I don't care what the people
Our
want.
mods aren't people.
I hope Poe and Aggie, I hope you guys listen to this podcast. Neither one of you are coming on this bitch anytime soon. Because Aggie, you talk very loud sometimes, and Poe, you just don't talk at all sometimes.
Anyways, so let's...
And Poe likes feet, and he has tiny baby clammy
let's close out this...
So...
close out this podcast. Got a little too personal, calling people out.
Yeah. Him and Lowe's hands are about the same size.
Yeah, so next week will be a free-for-all. It'll be fun. And you guys, you'll figure it out. Something to look forward to for everybody. Hopefully more people come to the chat. And T3s are always welcome.
I mean, we have like 4 people here today. It's pretty cool.
All right.
So, yeah. Shout out to all 30 people who are going to watch this on YouTube.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys. And to ever watch this on Spotify.
You really do. And also we need to add it to more platforms. We need to get that. We need to get this thing on Apple. Don't make me stutter more.
We will work on it. So put the poll up, anything, get them on? No. Pass. So take it easy. Thank you for listening to the CheekCast podcast, episode 9. I called it "Casual Gaming is Dying" because it is, and I might change it to Poe and Aggie will never be on this podcast.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Right. You guys have a
Thanks
nice
for
night.
listening.
Bye.
Bye.